Welcome to the Department of Sociology here at Stockholm University. This webinar will be about sociology and the two master programs in sociology that we offer. Andrea Boyer, our program coordinator, will talk about sociology and our two programs. And after Andrea, you will listen to Ainoa, one of our master students, and she will talk about why she chose sociology here. After Ainoa, you will be listening to one of our international master students, Narimina. She will talk about why she chose to study sociology here in Stockholm, but also life at campus and life in Stockholm, Sweden as an international student. After Narimina, I will come back and talk about the program overview and courses that we offer, but also a little bit about the application process. My name is Anna-Karin Haag, and I work here as an Assistant Director of Studies.
Hello, everyone. My name is Andrea Boyer, and I'm Program Coordinator of the Sociology Master's Programs, both the Sociology program and the program in Applied Social Research. And I'm happy to welcome you here to the webinar today and tell you a bit more about these programs. But just first, a bit of background about the Department of Sociology. At the Department of Sociology, we conduct research of a high international standard. Our teachers and researchers at the department engage in numerous research projects, the aims of which are to illustrate various aspects of life conditions of people as members of society, organizations, and groups, and to understand the social world in general. As a student in our program, you'd learn to analyze social issues, you learn to assess and evaluate investigations about phenomena in society, and you learn how to perform investigations. We're very strong in methodological training in our department. And in doing the analyses that you'll do as a student in our department, you be trained in both qualitative and quantitative methods of research. And some of the common issues that sociology takes up, and especially that we take up here in our department, are looking at processes and patterns of interactions within groups and across individuals, looking at forms of organization, and the organization of social relations in general, considering the influence of groups on the behaviors of individuals. And we also, in our research, tend to look at differences among people in terms of the distribution of power and resources within society and the impact that has on individuals' life chances. As I mentioned earlier, I'm the coordinator of two programs because we have two programs in the department, and you should think seriously about your interests when you're deciding to apply to a program in our department. The first program is the master's program in sociology, and that program is a very broad program that offers training in qualitative and quantitative methods and grounding in sociological theory. But we also have a master's program in applied social research, and that's an excellent program for those of you who know already that you have quantitative research interests and are interested in really honing your training and your skills in using different quantitative methods, perhaps with a more policy-oriented and practice-oriented focus in your research. But these two programs do have a lot of overlap in their courses, and there are a range of single subject courses that one takes within the program and within both programs. And it's important to note that our courses at the master's and doctoral level are taught in English, but the education at the undergraduate level here at Stockholm University, it tends to be in Swedish. And just a bit for those of you who are less familiar with sociology as a subject area, and of course, just to introduce you to the work that's going on in our department. We're a very active department. And there's a lot of different research going on. We have several topic areas represented in the department. I'm just going to introduce them briefly right now. So one topic is the topic of social stratification. And this area of sociology tends to look at what factors determine people's position, social position, their class position, and their socioeconomic position in society. What factors determine, for example, people's success on the labor market? And also, social stratification research tends to look at how values and preferences could differ across social classes in society, often with an eye to looking at the relationship between one generation's social position, their class position, and the next generation's class position. So how is social class reproduced across generations? And we have several members of the department who are actively working in this area. And so here on the slide, you just see a couple of recent studies that have come out of our department in this area, and some of our faculty who are working in this area as well. And then there's another topic of discrimination and inequality, and we have very active research going on in this area as well. Research in this area tends to be looking at the way that employment discrimination, for example, can happen on the basis of gender or ethnicity, and also considering everyday aspects of discrimination and inequality in schools and in social life in general. We have researchers in the department working on the topics of inequality in policing and the criminalization of certain types of people or behaviors. And so again, here's just an example of some of the work coming out of our department on this subject right now. We also have a very active node of research in the area of migration in the department. And when you study migration, there are lots of different ways to pick up this topic, of course. And so some of the researchers in the department take up aspects of the topic of migration, like looking at the career and educational trajectories of immigrants and how that relates to immigrant integration in various national contexts. But also, we have researchers in the department that pick up topics such as transnationalism and diaspora. So what are the connections across national borders as a result of migration? And we have others in the department who look at the role of migration in the rise of new border regimes, and also the rise of the radical right in Europe and other regions. And so you'll see here just a few examples of this very different work coming out in the department on migration. There's actually a monthly migration seminar series in the department as well. We also have an active area of research in the department of cultural sociology. And cultural sociology refers to the area of sociology that both looks at the study of the arts. So for example, we have in the department people who are studying graffiti artists, hip hop music, theater, and theater productions as they relate to gender equality, for example. But also cultural sociology could be referring to any type of investigation of the social world that focuses on social meanings and how those meanings and processes of recognition and unfold and shape social inclusion and exclusion in society. And so here you just see a few articles that have come out in the department that are more in this, some of them bridging this focus on culture. So you see this one article that looks at the dramatic arts, but also looking at issues of meaning and equality and inequality in society. There's also an active cultural sociology group that meets once a month for people who are working on research in this topic. We are very well known at Stockholm University for political sociology. And a lot of this work is coming out, looking at the rise of the radical right in Europe and beyond Europe. But we also have people who work and take an international and historical perspective, looking at revolutions and political and social change. So there's quite a lot that goes on in Stockholm University on the topic of political sociology. Social networks is another active area in the department. Social networks is essentially a research approach that analyzes the social world by looking at relationship ties, and can use this perspective on relationship ties to look at factors like labor market success or organizational structures, or again, taping up topics like the political right or the spread of fake news. And so that's some of the work that's actively being done in the department. And we have work being done on general social issues as well. There's a lot of variety here. We're a very large department. You can never hit the bottom of what's being asked and what's being studied here. But some recent work looks at policing and spatial inequality, social addictions and internet addictions and online lives in general. Again, people have been looking at fake news, some people using experimental methods to look at group processes. So just a really rich department in terms of what's available to you here as a master's student. And so if you're interested in learning more, I really encourage you to go to our departmental website. We have all kinds of information there about what's happening in the department, but we also have interviews and from our alumni. And so if you go there, you can really hear about the experience of students in the master's programs. And actually right now, what we have arranged for you is for you to hear from 2 students. So I will turn over the presentation to 2 of our master's students in sociology so you can learn more about the program.
Hi, my name is Ainhoa. I'm a master's student of the program of Applied Social Research, which is a sociology program mainly focused on quantitative research methods. I chose this program because I have a bachelor's degree in sociology and international migration and ethnic relations, which is from another university here in Sweden. It's a theory-based program with focus on qualitative research methods. And by choosing this program, I can get to know sociology from multiple angles, and I can also become more versatile in my method skills, and thereby also become more attractive at the labor market. I really enjoy the width of methods that we have been taught here. It's not only the classical regression analysis, but also social network analysis, systematic reviews, among others. I also really enjoy that the education feels up to date because if not all, then at least the majority of all the teachers and professors I have met have been active researchers. And thereby using examples from their current research. And the entire education feels up to date. I have also been active as a student representative at an anti-racism working group here at the department, which has impacted my view of the department greatly in a good way, because I have seen both forward thinking but also words put into action, which have been great. And to be a student in Stockholm, it's hard for me actually to say anything about it because I am a native Stockholmer. And what I love about Stockholm is that it's a small, big city. We have both culture and nature. As it is small, we still have great concert hall, but also small niche music venues. And we also have the nature is always close as the city is quite small. And I am grateful that I didn't have to move in order to have the possibility to study this program. And that was all from me. And now you will hear from another student, Narmina.
Hello, my name is Narmina. I come from Georgia and I'm doing my master's degree in sociology at Stockholm University. And today I'd like to talk about the reasons and the facts why I chose Sweden as my study destination and Stockholm University as my university. First of all, I'd like to start with the country. As we know, Sweden is one of the safest and happiest countries in the world. And you can experience this in your everyday life in Sweden, which I have done. And because as a woman, I felt very safe and comfortable in Sweden. Also, people are very valued and protected in Sweden. For example, the streets and the roads, the nature are well taken care of, especially in winter, to make as comfortable for people as possible. And also nature and city are well integrated, which means you have both aspects of city in your life, city where you can meet your everyday needs, fulfill your duties, and at the same time you can enjoy and spend quality time with your friends and family members in the forest. Yes, we have a lot of forests around us, and actually we live in the forest in Sweden. And in the forest, there are all the facilities and conditions to enjoy the nature. Also, why Stockholm University? Because many activities and facilities for students are discounted for free at Stockholm University. For example, courts are for free for students. Gym is discounted for students. Also, various services are for free. For example, Academic Writing Center. It is a service which can support you during your during the time you write your paper or your degree thesis. And also they have some working groups which you can join and collaborate with other students and support each other while you write your papers. And also there is a Stockholm Student Health Service at Stockholm University, which I myself have taken support from. They support you with different health issues. And last winter, for example, I felt very tired and unmotivated. And I had a therapist or counselor with whom I met once a week or once in 2 weeks. And yeah, she really helped me. So you can get this kind of support as well. And also there exist language cafes as well. If you speak any language, you can join those cafes and improve your language skills by talking with other international or local students. And also, whatever software program you're going to need for your program, for a degree, you're going to have licensed versions of them from the university, also provided for free, such as Zoom, licensed Zoom, and Stata for us as sociology students, SPSS, and etc. Why master's program in sociology? Because first of all, we always read and have been introduced to very up-to-date literature and articles. So you don't, when reading the articles or books, you don't feel that it is old information and you don't need it anymore. You always feel the relevance when reading those literature and articles. Also, if we are introduced to a new theory, we always think about the applicability of that theory, which is very important for us. We don't need the theory to just memorize and to know. We need it to apply, to utilize when explaining any social phenomena or social events. So it is very important for us to see how we can use the theory. Also, teachers teach you, but at the same time, they encourage you to study individually, independently, and explore beyond the materials you've covered during your classes. This way, you actually learn, how to find, how to explore, and find out more than you're provided with. Besides that, it is very important to work in group and collaborate with other students. Usually we had group work, group projects, where we collaborated with each other. This way we learned how to exchange, and we learned how to exchange ideas, how to provide reasonable arguments, how to come to a conclusion, and how to submit or present it as a final project. So I think I'd say that being an international student in Sweden is a great combination of country, university, and program. You can study, learn in Sweden, and at the same time be supported from the university and from the country and enjoy your life as well. Thank you very much.
I am now going to talk about the program overviews for our two master's program in sociology. I'll also mention the eligibility requirements and some of the documentation needed for your application. All our master programs have a core of mandatory courses, and the rest consists of elective courses. These elective courses may be chosen from the department's courses. So this means that if you have an interest in demography, for instance, you have the possibility to choose elective courses within the field of demography. This is the program overview for our master's program in sociology, 120 credits. It's 30 credits per semester, and the first 3 semesters hold a mixture of both mandatory courses and elective courses. And as you can see, you have quite a lot of room for elective courses. The 4th semester is dedicated to your master thesis in sociology for 30 credits. This is the program overview for our master's program in applied social research, also 120 credits. This program will lead to a master's degree in sociology. The first semester of the program is dedicated to only mandatory courses, with the 2nd and 3rd, and you will have both mandatory courses and elective courses. And again, as you can see, there is quite a lot of room for elective courses. The 4th semester is dedicated to your master thesis in sociology. The general eligibility requirements and English requirements can be found on universityadmissions.se. Specific requirements for both programs are a bachelor's degree in social sciences and at least 60 credits in sociology. You will also need an upper secondary school course in English B, English 6, or equivalent. Required documentation for the selection is documentation of previous or ongoing education, and you will also need to upload a motivation letter following the set template that we provide under each program site under how to apply. It's very important that you upload your motivation letter to the university admissions site no later than the set deadline. You are, of course, very welcome to contact us for more information or if you have any questions, and you do so by emailing us at master@sociology.su.se. There is, of course, always information on our website as well. Please follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.